During the story of Alien Earth, we learned that Wendy can hear the Xenomorph aliens. Now over on the Hollywood Reporter website, they have an article where they spoke with the director Noah Hawley and they talked about different things. But what happens when a character seems to tame and even train a Xenomorph? Across the last couple episodes of Alien Earth, the hybrid Wendy has been raising and communicating with one of the Prodigy Corporation's alien captives. A Xenomorph follows her commands, including to kill a bunch of Prodigy employees. Now we know from James Cameron's Aliens that Xenomorphs can communicate with each other, and if they can communicate, then the next iteration of that idea would be someone not of their species attempting to communicate with them. I assume that's the inspiration for Wendy's relationship with the Xenomorph, but isn't it always a bit of a risk when you take the scary monster and turn them into something that seems domesticated? There are a couple of things. Obviously, there's that moment in Cameron's film where the Queen communicates with the drones. Is that a pheromone? Is it telekinetic? Is that a frequency we can't hear? We don't know, but that always seemed really interesting as something to explore. The other thing, of course, is that an alien movie is a 2-hour survival story, and a television show has to be an ongoing series. You have to use the monsters in a different way. You certainly want to use them in the classic way, but you also have to figure out how to sustain having monsters in your show when the reality is they would kill everyone or that you would kill them, and then that would be it. Bringing in other creatures allowed me to take the pressure off the Xenomorphs to fill that void. There's also this idea of the hubris of people, that classic Jurassic Park thing of just because you can do something doesn't mean you should, and the naivete of children as well. There is a romanticism that can happen in kids. She wants to believe that it's not these creatures' fault, that they didn't ask to come here, and we shouldn't experiment on them the way that she's being experimented on. You can understand the rationale, but it doesn't make it safe to make friends with one. One of the big questions marks was if fans were going to go with this idea. I don't want her to have a Xenomorph as a pet, but if it seems like an alliance has been struck, what are the interesting possibilities that we can pull out of that? And because this is a horror story, we have to assume that ultimately, I wouldn't bet on this working out. They do bring up the episode when Wendy orders the Xenomorph to attack. How is the audience supposed to feel about her decision? I think she's angry at the way that the hybrids have been treated and what they did to Nibs, and she's lashing out. Part of growing up is learning what consequences are. They bring up the moment when Nibs had a freak out moment. Noah would say that some of his characters are morally good, and some of them are morally bad, and some of them are crazy, and some of them are wild cards. So Nibs can fill this space where you're actually okay with the fact that she might end up being a sociopath. It fills a space in the genre where we always like those characters in some way. The last topic is asking about Kirsch. He seems to steal the scene every time he shows up. What does Kirsch want? Yeah, that's interesting to me, and the question of how much is he in control? What are the rules of his programming? Part of what I feel made Ian Holmes' alien android character Ash crazy at the end of that movie was that he had his countermanding programming. The crew's lives were expendable, but somewhere in there he had been programmed to protect human life. These two conflicting impulses caused him to malfunction. I think with Tim, there's definitely this question of how much is he autonomous, how much is he controlled by the programming, and how much is his sense of identity. If he is a scientist and experimenting, he doesn't seem to have the human morality that others have. He's probably programmed that he can't harm Boy Cavalier. He may be programmed that it really shouldn't disagree with him or argue with him. And in these moments where Boy Cavalier is super patronizing and dismissive, maybe been programmed to smile and bear it. And yet, is he done? So, what do you think of this new addition to the alien lore, where hybrids can communicate with aliens? Is it a good idea? Should they expand on this? Or does it ruin the alien story? Tell me in the comments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.